Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing very well. So, as you can see on your screen, today we are going to start a new chapter. And in this new chapter, we are going to learn new facts about our Earth. Okay, so what are those facts? We are going to learn about our landsform, how many types of landsforms are present in our planet Earth, then water bodies, then about continents, okay, then about our oceans. Okay, so let's see. Now start our chapter. We live on the Earth. It is made up of land and water. Okay, we live on planet Earth, and planet Earth is made up of land and water. The air surrounds the Earth, and there is a thick layer of air covering the atmosphere of the Earth. We need air to breathe and water to drink. Okay, and we need air for breathing and we need water for drinking. Plants and animals also live on the earth. Okay, so apart from human beings, plants and animals also live on planet earth. The globe is the model of the earth. Okay, now you all know this is called globe. Okay, so the globe is the representation. Okay, so the globe is the representation of the planet earth. Okay, now landsform. What is the meaning of landsform? Let's see. The land is not flat everywhere. It is high at some places and low at other places. Now, my dear children, our land, which is present on our planet Earth, it is not flat all over the earth. At some places, it has this much high, and in some places, it has this much high, and in some places, it is flat. Okay, so now we are going to see the different types of landsform. And what are those types of landsform? Let's start with the first number of landsform named as plain. Okay, plain. Now what is the meaning of plain? Plains are a flat land. Most people live in the plain. It is easy to grow crops here as many rivers flow through the plains. The soils in the plain is good for plants. Now my dear children, here you can see this is the plain area. Now what is the meaning of plain area? Plain area are flat lands. Okay, and in those plain areas most people live. And why the most population is located here? Because here rivers are present. Okay, here rivers can easily flow. And why they can easily flow? Because the landform is plain. Okay, they don't have to put extra effort. Okay, that's why here plants are also easily grow. So in plain areas we find water and we find food easily. That's why maximum population of the world lives in plain areas. After plain areas comes the turn of mountain. Okay, now what is the meaning of mountains? Let's see, my dear students. Some hills are very high. Very high hills are called mountains. Mountains are often covered with snow. Many rivers start from the mountains. Now, my dear students, here you can see this is mountain. What is the meaning of mountains? Some areas or some landforms of the world are very high. Okay, means very high. So, this very high structure of landform is called as mountains. Okay, and all over the year mountains are covered with snow. Okay, and the rivers are originated from these mountains. Okay, after mountains we find another landform feature, that is hills. Now what is the meaning of hill? A high piece of land is called a hill. It is cool there. This land is generally rocky, so it is difficult to grow crops here. Now my dear children, you can see this is the hilltop. Okay, so hill area means what? A very high piece of land. Okay, mountain means what? This whole structure. This whole structure is called as mountain. But hill means what? The top of the mountain. Okay, that portion is called as hill, and that portion of hill is always covered with snow. Due to cover landsforms means hills are covered with snow. That's why due to the presence of snow, it is very hard to grow crops there. Okay, so at top of the hills, no cultivation is done. After hills comes the turn of valley. Now, what is the meaning of valleys? The low land that lies between hills or mountains is called valleys. Valleys have streams and rivers running through them. Now, my dear children, let me show you. See, this is your mountain, okay, and this portion is called as hill. But this is mountain and this portion is called as hill, but there is a series of mountains. Okay, now what is the meaning of valley? This areas, okay, these areas are very deep, so this areas are called as valleys. Okay, and in valleys various rivers are flowing. Okay, in these valleys various rivers and streams are flowing. Okay, my dear students, after valleys comes the turn of plateau. Now what is the meaning of plateau? Sometimes the land is higher than a plain but is flat at the top like a table. We call this land a plateau or a tableland. Now, what is the meaning of plateau? See, sometimes some areas are high, okay, high, then plain. Sometimes this is plain area, and in some portion these areas were like this. Okay, but they are not much high as hill or mountain. So these areas are called as plateaus. Okay, so these areas are called as plateaus. Okay, my dear students, see, sometimes plateaus are also called as a tableland. Here you can see this is the example of your plateau. This is the example of your plateau. Okay, so plateau means what? Some landforms are higher than plains but lower than hills. Okay, they are uneven in nature. So this uneven nature of landform is called as plateaus. Okay, after plateau comes the turn of deserts. Now what is the meaning of deserts? See, the land covered with sand is called the desert. Deserts always have a shortage of water. See, in hill areas, in plain areas, in plateau areas, we can find water. But in desert, what is the meaning of desert? The area which is covered with sand. Okay, the area which is covered with sand is called as desert area. Okay, so these desert areas always face scarcity of water because there is no source of water present there. Okay, here you can see, my dear student, this is desert. After desert comes the concept of island. Now what is the meaning of island? A piece of land surrounded by water all around is called an island. Okay, you can see here this is your island. Now what is the meaning of island? Suppose this is sea. Okay, and in this sea it is a small piece of land is present. So this small piece of land which is covered all around with water is called as island. Okay, my dear students, I hope the concept of island is clear to you. Now, what is the meaning of island? The meaning of island is a small piece or a piece of land which is covered by all around with water is called as island. After island, the concept of peninsulas come. Now, what is the meaning of peninsulas? Let's see. A piece of land surrounded by water on three sides is called peninsula. This is the example of peninsula. So, my dear students, island. Island is covered from all four sides with water. Okay. Similarly, in peninsula, there is a land piece or landform which is covered by water from three sides, not four sides, only from three sides. Okay, so the piece of land which is covered by water from three sides of a piece of land which is covered by water from three sides, this is called as peninsula. Okay, so my dear children, there is a basic difference between island and peninsula. In island, island is covered by water from all four sides. Okay, but on the other hand, in peninsula, peninsulas are covered by water only in three sides. Okay, last but not the least, forest. Okay, here comes the concept of forest. Some places covered with a thick growth of trees and plants are called as forest. Many animals lives in forest. Now, what is the meaning of forest? You can see Forest, forest are those areas where a very thick or very large amount of trees are grown. Okay, and in forest, basically, animals live. Okay, so all these are the examples of different types of landsform which is present in our planet Earth. After landsform, we are going to see water bodies. You can see there is more water on earth's surface than land. Water is present in ocean, seas, lakes and streams. As you all know, my dear student, if our earth is divided into 10 parts, out of 10, 7 parts are covered with water in the form of ocean, rivers, lakes, streams, pond, etc. Only 3 parts are covered with land area. Okay, so let's see the different types of water bodies. The first type of water body is ocean and seas. Very large area of water are called oceans and seas. The biggest seas are called oceans. Sea water is very salty and so we cannot drink it. Now, my dear students, this is the example of ocean. Now, the very large portion means the very large area covered by water is called as oceans. Okay, and smaller piece means smaller piece of area in comparison of only ocean covered by water is called as sea. Okay, so the water of ocean and seas are salty in nature. That's why they are not drinkable. We can't drink those water. Okay, now after ocean and seas, the concept of rivers come. Now what is the meaning of river? Let's see. A river is a flowing water body. Most rivers begin in the mountains. When it is hot, the snow of the mountains melt and flows into rivers. This water is not salty and is called as fresh water. Many rivers flow into the sea. Most plains get their water supply from rivers. Now, my dear children, see rivers. What is the meaning of rivers? Okay, as I already told you earlier that many rivers originate from mountains. But how they are originated? See, during summer seasons when the ice which is present at mountain area, they melted. Okay, when they melt, they convert into water and they mix up in the rivers. Okay, lastly, river waters flow their water or drown their all water in sea and oceans. Okay, so the rivers so the water which we get in the form of rivers, they are fresh water. Okay, and those fresh water we can drink. Okay, and all these rivers are mainly present in plain areas. Okay, now after rivers we get lakes. What is the meaning of lake? Let's see. A lake is a large body of water, either fresh or salt, surrounded by land on all sides. Okay, my dear students, here you can see this is the land area, sorry, lake area. Now what is the meaning of lake? Lake may be salty in nature, lake may be fresh water in nature. So what is the meaning of lake? Lake are those areas of water which are surrounded by land from all 4 sides. Okay, all 4 sides. See, island and peninsula are those where land piece, when a piece of land is surrounded by water from 4 sides or either 3 sides. But lakes, in lakes case, water body is surrounded by land formed from all 4 sides. These are called lakes. Okay, my dear students. Now, after lakes comes the turn of ponds. Now, what is the meaning of pond? A pond are smaller areas with collected rainwater. Here you can see this is the pond. Pond are the smallest area of water in which rainfall water are collected or stored. Okay, they are the natural collector. They are the natural storehouse of rainwater. Okay, so this is all about our landsform and water bodies. Now, my dear students, we are going to see how many continents we have and how many oceans we have on our planet Earth. Let's see. But first of all, let me tell you what is the meaning of continent. The land present in the form of huge land masses is called continent. There are 7 continents in the world. Now, my dear students, you can see this is the map of world. Here, the very large pieces of land masses. Okay, see, these are the very, very large pieces of land. Okay, so these large pieces of land which is present on our planet Earth, they are called as continent. Okay, and in our planet Earth there are seven continents. Okay, the continents are separated from one another by huge water bodies called oceans. There are five oceans in the world. See, you can see, my dear students, all these pieces of land masses are separated from each other. Okay, they are not interlinked, they are separated. And who separate them? Okay, so oceans separate them. Let me show you. These all are the pieces of land. Okay, now these pieces of land, see, this two pieces of land is separated by a body called as water bodies, and those water bodies are named as oceans. Okay, so two land pieces are separated by a water body named as ocean or seas. Okay, my dear student, so there are seven continents in the world. Let's see what are those seven continents. Okay, see, Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. You can see, my dear student, what are the name of those seven continents? North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. Okay, so these are the seven continents of the world. And after those seven continents, we have a huge water bodies, and those huge water body means a huge water body on the earth is called an ocean. Okay, you can see, let me show you, these are the huge water bodies. Okay, so these huge water bodies are called as oceans. Okay, my dear students, so now see how many oceans are present on our planet Earth. Mainly there are five oceans, and the name of those five oceans are, you can see here, my dear students, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, okay, and Arctic Ocean. And after all this, the Southern Ocean, this is your Southern Ocean. Okay, so how many oceans are present in the planet Earth? There are five oceans. Okay, let's name them: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and last but not the least, our Southern Ocean. So these are the major oceans which are present on our planet Earth. So my dear student, this is all about present in this chapter. Now here comes your work. You have to go thoroughly through this chapter and complete your exercise. Okay, so this is all for today's session. I hope you enjoyed this session a lot. See you in the next class. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Bye.